Hello, everyone. It's Anthony Bandiero here, attorney for Blue to Gold Law Enforcement Training, bringing you another webinar. This one actually is a brand new topic. We have never taught this class before. I hope you enjoy it. It's about constructive possession. Before I get started, I want to do a couple disclaimers. Number one is that laws and agency SOPs may be more restrictive. When I'm saying that is that I teach you some general best practices and so forth. I'm going to teach you what I think the law is generally with this topic. Of course, there could be some nuances, right? um SOPs is your policies. If you have any doubts about what you're doing out there, push it up the chain. And finally, this course is legal education, not legal advice. I'm an attorney, but I'm not your attorney. So um, I like the name of this class, not caught red-handed, right? If you're caught red-handed, that's kind of like actual possession, but we're going to talk about constructive possession. What happens, how do you connect people to contraband? And that's going to be the topic for today. After this class, I am going to take calls and take questions. If you have questions, I have some time on my hands. I am broadcasting from the whole hotel in Nashville. In fact, I'm right actually near Broadway, which is the famous strip, where the honky tonk bars are and so forth. It's a great place. If you have not been to Nashville, I absolutely cannot recommend it enough. It is absolutely a beautiful, beautiful place. A lot of fun, just great time, great time. All right. So I like to start off with this, right? And this is kind of like a jury instruction on possession. And then this comes from a jury instruction in Nevada, but generally speaking, they all stay the same. So they it says possession may be actual or constructive. And now remember, jury instructions are written for lay people, right? The jurors. A person who knowingly has direct physical control over a thing at a given time is then in actual possession of it. A person who, although not in actual physical possession, knowingly has both the power and the intention to exercise dominion and control over a thing is then in constructive possession of that thing. Okay, now let's break it down. Okay, so as it says, possession can be actual or constructive. Actual possession is pretty darn easy, right? That means that the person currently has the item, the contraband under the direct physical control at a given time. Um, these are your easy cases, okay? When it comes to possession, these are easy cases. The item is in their hand. It's in their clothing. The item is in a container being carried by them, being worn by them. It's attached to their body somehow. It's in their shoe, right? The problem, though, is that that if you find drugs in a person's pants, they have a surefire, foolproof way to get out of that conviction. And and once they say it, you are done.
I work at.
Put your hand behind your back. Don't reach for nothing, man. All right.
All right.
So there's a little baggie right here.
A baggie?
Something. Just a little bit of weed.
Oh no, man, these are not even my pants. These are my friend's pants.
This
I
is
don't
your
even
friend's
know what
pants.
that is. Yeah.
All right.
So, what I want you to do when they say that is to rip their pants off of their person right then and there and say, hey, that means you must have stolen them, or at the very least, you have abandoned them, right? So, um, now, constructive possession, of course, is where the rubber meets the road. And constructive possession is, items in the trunk of a car, drugs in a suitcase, guns under the bed, narcotics in a shared apartment, contraband in plain view in a vehicle. Who are we going to hit this with, right? And so that's what we have to prove. And it takes a little bit of work, right? So a person has constructive possession of a thing if, though not in actual possession, he knowingly has both the power and the intention at a given time to exercise dominion control over it. So that's the common theme. But let me just share with you real quick, okay? You got to prove intent, okay? You can't send people to prison just because they're around something that's illegal. That's not the way this works, okay? Um, you know, some people maybe on this webinar have family members that, let's say, they smoke marijuana in a state that's not legal, right? Like Texas and so forth. Well, if they go over and visit that family member, and that person, you know that that person has marijuana inside that premise, and let's say it's even on the table, right? And I'm not telling you how to live your life and whether or not, this is good for your career and you should be around this stuff. But I'm just telling you, there's no crime being committed there. Not in There may be a crime in Idaho. Idaho thinks has like a weird law about being on the premises where drug activity occurs. But generally speaking, in the other states, it doesn't. It's not a crime to be around contraband. You have to prove this, right? So, how do you prove it? Well, we're going to teach that here. So, to satisfy the possession element of the element of offensive possession with the intent to distribute crack cocaine, the government is not required to catch a defendant with his hand in the cookie jar. The government only needs to prove constructive possessions, which can be established through circumstantial evidence and existed where the evidence demonstrated ownership, dominion, authority, or control, right? Hey, so David, I live in Idaho now. You guys don't play around with the law. I tell you, I'm in Coeur d'Alene. I don't know if you know that, but okay, let me give you a pro tip, right? A person can be guilty of constructive possession without actual possession. Now we know that, right? So what I mean by this is that it doesn't mean that you ever had to have had or touched the stuff, right? Let me give you an example. So this guy, Porter, he goes over to a house to purchase crack cocaine. And he's he gave the money, okay? Um and he gave the money, and then that's happened to be when the cops came in, okay? Now, they can prove that he handed the money, but he didn't select his crack cocaine yet. The drugs were out and so forth. He actually didn't get his crack cocaine yet, but he gave the money. Can he be convicted of possession of crack cocaine? Yes or no? He gave the money, but did not receive it yet. Okay. And the answer is going to be yes. Okay. Defendant constructively possessed a dime rock of crack cocaine as soon as he transferred the money to pay for cocaine to the drug dealer, even though he had not yet chosen his rock from the many rocks sitting on the table when police arrived. So that's what constructive possession is, right? It's dominion, it's the intent to exercise dominion and control over that area. And also you have to have an act, okay? We have to have an actus reus. So it's if I intend to possess the Ferrari sitting outside, right? I have not stolen that Ferrari, right? But if I make, like, actual plans, and I'm going up to the car and I have the tools and so forth, that could be attempted, right? But the point is, when it comes to this, the answer is that it does work. Okay, so let's now talk about U.S. versus Hill. What happened here is that police investigated Hill for marijuana trafficking, and after two controlled buys, searched his home. They found marijuana, paraphernalia, over $38,000 in cash, and documents linking him to the residence. Two loaded handguns, one stolen, were hidden in a grill on the upstairs deck. When informed of the stolen firearms charge, his response was, "Which gun was stolen?" Is that a very good piece of evidence that he exercised dominion and control over the stolen handgun, right? And absolutely, that is a gold piece of evidence right there. Absolutely. Absolutely. So Hill knew the firearm's presence based on his question about which gun was stolen and the location. Proof of constructive possession requires evidence that the defendant either was aware or knew of the firearm's presence and had the ability and an intent to later exercise dominion and control over that firearm. The defendant need not have the firearm on or near his person or to constructively possess it. Now, a high point. That's messed up, man. I mean, the guy had $38,000 on him at the time of his arrest. You don't think he can afford, a 6 hour with a little bit of uncommanded discharge issue, huh? Okay. So, I'm in, Tennessee, right now. Am I in constructive possession of, my stuff at my house in Idaho right now? Right? And the answer, yeah, right. Brandon says, right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So the point is that I have the intent to exercise dominion and control, over that property. I'm going back to that house. I have the keys, et cetera, et cetera. I have a plane ticket back to, Spokane and so forth. So you're looking for those two elements, okay? Knowledge and control, right? Knowledge and control. So the first one is let's talk about the knowledge. So in Reyes versus State, what happened here is the guy was it was during a traffic stop. He was on the radar for various other crimes, and the police found two suitcases with heroin and cocaine in his vehicle. Now, which he claimed belonged to his passenger. Now, the reality is that he actually never touched the suitcases. Okay, he didn't put hands on the suitcases. The passenger was the one who put the suitcases in the car. But he was observed before taking off. He actually looked under his car, apparently for a GPS tracker, right? So counter surveillance. And he was present at the time that the suitcases were put in his car. So he's under investigation for money laundering. The passenger puts a crap load of drugs in his car. He's acting suspicious. Could this be some good evidence that he knew that he was transporting contraband, right? And the answer is yes. As the court held, he drove and inspected the vehicle in a way that suggested he was worried about being followed. He was present when the two suitcases were transferred to the Jeep, and the suitcases were in plain view in the vehicle as he drove away. Evidence showed more than Reyes's mere presence in the Jeep or spatial proximity to the contraband. It raised a reasonable inference that Reyes had the intent to exercise control over the contraband. So let me show you a video of what I mean. So here is a case where the cops are watching this motel, and in room 101, this guy's staying there. I'm just guessing the room number, but let's imagine like room 101. The guy's like an apparent drug dealer. So they're sitting outside, they're watching, they're looking for people, quick trips and so forth. Well, this lady does a quick trip, and now they look for a traffic stop and they pull her over. Let's kind of go from there.
Black and color Ford Explorer. Reach for stops, careless operation, speed. Hello.
Hey.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
I'm Deputy Slip with the Ranch County Sheriff's Department. The reason I stopped you is you're going a little quick back there through the 35.
Oh.
Okay.
Sorry.
Are you putting on your makeup while you're driving?
I was wetting my face.
Okay.
Some lotion.
Okay. Why are you sweating so bad?
That's this stuff right here.
Huh?
This stuff right here.
Okay. Well, you look like you're sweating. You ain't nervous or nothing, are you? Do you have your insurance with you?
It's my daughter's car.
It is. You don't have it in the glove box or anything?
No, he never sent it to us.
Okay. Do me a favor real quick. Step out of the car. I'm back here. I don't want you to get hit. You don't have your weapons or nothing on you, do you?
No.
The only reason I'm asking you seem a little nervous and you're sweating. It's like six. It's out of here, okay? Okay.
I sweat a lot.
There's nothing in the vehicle that's illegal?
No.
Okay. Do you have a problem if I check?
I really rather you not take my car, because I do have something, the alcohol I'm taking to work.
You have the alcohol you're taking to work?
Yeah.
What is it? Beer?
Jaeger.
Wine? Jaeger? Is it open?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. You don't have a problem other than that. I'm not too worried about that if you're taking it to work. All right, hang tight right here with Deputy Perez, okay? Come on back here.
It's fine. Is there anything in the vehicle you can talk about?
My alcohol, yeah.
Oh, that's fine. We already
And I
said.
think there's a little bit of marijuana in there.
Is it a little bit? Okay, that's fine. Where is it at? Stay right here.
Okay, it's in the glove compartment.
Glove compartment
Somebody else.
for 600.
Found a little bit of marijuana. Just trying to thoroughly go through the vehicle now that we've already found some illegal substance.
Don't even belong to me.
That's fine. Who does it belong to? Friend of yours?
Car's got quite a lot of stuff in it. Put your hands behind your back for me. Until I get done searching, you're placing her in detention, okay? What's all that white powder?
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Based on what we see here, is she in constructive possession of the drugs underneath that cup, right? And absolutely, right? Is she abnormally nervous? Did she just go to a known drug location? Is the drink probably cold, meaning she's the one that put her drink? Actually, didn't she acknowledge what the drink was? Didn't she say that she actually knew what it was, that a mellow yellow, melliol, that's how they say it, I guess. Melliol, it's mellow yellow, I believe is the drink name. She knew what it was. Is it near her? Is she driving the vehicle? Does she know who the vehicle belongs to, her sister or her daughter and so forth? The point is, now we can prove, at least we have probable cause, that she is in constructive possession of the drugs. Let's take it from there.
In the cup holder. Is that cold Mel Yellow from?
Oh yeah, that's Mountain Dew.
Okay, Mountain Dew, Mel Yellow. What's the white powder that's under it? Okay. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take this as a field test kit for cocaine. If it turns blue, it'll show a base. So we're gonna test it and see if it is what it is. You can see the tip of it. If we touched it in that powder, it's turning bright blue. It shows a positive for a cocaine base. So you see that? That's a positive test for cocaine.
I don't do cocaine. I'm gonna
Okay.
take that.
Well, right now you're under arrest for the possession of cocaine and possession of marijuana. All right?
Are you serious? That little. Come on.
You don't have anything on you, do you? If you do, then you need to let Deputy Perez know. And the only reason I'm saying that is because if you go to the jail and you've got something on you, they're going to search you there, and then it's a whole different level of introducing contraband to a prison.
So, do you have anything I need to worry about? Huh?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so tell me. No, sir, I got it. What is in here? What's in here? Drugs. That's what I got.
So, will you want me to believe that what was in the cup holder is not yours?
I don't do it. No, I don't do it.
You don't do it?
No.
Well, by the looks, it looks like you're selling it, right?
Any other pockets I need to look?
You know that's going to be a distribution charge, correct? Okay. Have you been locked up for distribution before? Have you been locked up for any kind of possession before?
Some possession a long time ago.
Marijuana? Okay.
All right. So, is this a good case for constructive possession? Absolutely. This is now we have her dead to rights. Once they make that arrest, do they have beyond a reasonable doubt evidence? Man, absolutely, right? Now, do we have a Miranda issue? Yes, okay. That's not what we're here for. But somebody, a few of you guys at least, but somebody talked about this in the comments. One thing I'm going to suggest to you, okay, and just take it for what it's worth, is that I call it the Jack in a Box. What he did there is the Jack in a Box. What that means is once he found evidence in the car, he jumps out of the car and he's like Jack in a boxing, and then he goes over and puts her in handcuffs. Don't do that, okay? If unless it's a safety issue, because while you're searching the car, even though you are going to arrest her, but she's talking to your partner and she's not in handcuffs, does she need Miranda? The answer is no, okay? So your partner is getting evidence from her. She's saying dumb things, about whatever. She's going to admit things. Your partner's doing good work there. But once you go out there and you put the handcuffs on that person, then they're going to be in arrest-like custody. So you're going to need Miranda. Don't do it. Okay. Don't Jack in a Box out of the car. Just keep searching. and then you kind of go from there. All right. Okay. All right. We also need control. So you need knowledge and control. Exactly. The three C's: cops, questioning, and Miranda. Cops, custody, cop, and questioning. That comes from Fletzy, by the way. Fletzy is the one that came up with the three C's. Very clever. Let me give you an example. So, woman told police that a convicted felon previously possessed a firearm. He was arrested on another charge, and police found a gun 15 feet away, tucked underneath a fire pit. Multiple people around, never tried to reach for it, denied ownership, and was not in plain view. Is this a good case for constructive possession? Right, exactly. The answer is no, right? So there's PC, okay, for this arrest, but his conviction was overturned since there was no beyond a reasonable doubt evidence that he intended to possess the firearm. So, constructive possession exists when an individual knowingly exercises dominion and control over an object, even though the object may not be within his or her immediate physical possession. It must also be shown that the person was conscious of the presence of the object. Now, one of the reasons I show Gardner, okay, is I'm going to give you a pro tip. But before I give you a pro tip, I just want to take a quick commercial break and ask that you guys consider buying the books that we have. Follow us on social media and so forth. We have the best legal books, okay? Hands down, they've been in publication for over 15 years, most of them. But the report writing book is off the hook. I am Guys, when I talk to chiefs, okay, and maybe and sheriffs and so forth, but when I talk to bosses of agencies, their number one thing they are telling us is that your reports suck, right? That the reports suck, okay? And so we're losing cases and we're getting jammed up in IA because we don't write good reports. And I'm not, I'm painting a broad brush. I understand that we do have people in here that obviously know how to write a report, but consider writing a report, okay? Um, and do we have any publications for SROs? No, not just for SROs, but definitely the search and seizure book is up your alley. It does talk about school searches in the search and seizure book. Okay, that's awesome. Thank you, Brett, for supporting the cause. Okay, let me just give you a pro tip, right? So there are some cases out there, especially in Ohio and some other states, where the courts talk about that you have to prove constructive possession, you have to have some awareness of the contraband. Okay, I just want to warn you and just give you some like that's not. They'll talk in the sense that all you have to prove is just the awareness, right? But that's not what they mean, okay? It's you still have to have the intent part to actually, the intent to actually put hands on it, right? So just knowing that you're around contraband is not going to be enough. Again, I just want to reiterate this. Let's talk about Franklin versus State. So what happened here is that the cops find out, federal agents find out that there is a drug package addressed to a guy with a fake name. Okay, they put a fake name on him. So, um, yeah. So Brian, I'm sorry, I'm a little commercial break. So Brian actually just received a brand new book that we just put out, which is the Ohio Simplified Statutes book. That book is off the hook, and I hope it's perfect. But we spent a lot of time getting that. So we have Ohio, Texas, Nevada, and Idaho. So, and we're working on right now we're working on Arizona. But so that book it basically it takes all your statutes and it actually breaks it down to basically tell you exactly what to articulate in your report. It is probably gonna, I think it'll be one of our most popular books, that even more popular than Search and Seizure. We're going to do all 50 states, but we are picking, quite frankly, we're picking our states that just have the most business, right? Quite frankly, it makes sense. I mean, Texas is our busiest state, so we did Texas first. Colorado actually Colorado, just so you know, I don't mean to be off topic here, especially for our on-demand listeners, but Colorado is done. Okay, Colorado's done, and we're just doing the fine touches, but Colorado's done. We do a lot of business in Colorado. So back to the to this case. Okay, so federal agents intercept this drug package addressed with a fake name. During the controlled delivery, the defendant's girlfriend brought it inside. Okay, um, now then they hit the house. A search revealed marijuana scales, money orders, men's clothing tied to the defendant, along with phones containing drug-related photos, messages. The girlfriend confirmed the defendant lived there part-time and helped pay the rent. Now, is that a good, now, even though he did not, he was not seen bringing in the package, right? And apparently they hit the house before the package was opened. But was that a good amount of evidence that he actually intended to exercise dominion control over that package as well? And the answer is, of course, yes, right? Of course. He's living in a drug house. He's taking pictures of drugs, et cetera, right? So this was actually very good. As the court said in Franklin, Franklin lived at the residence from time to time. Likewise, he paid rent at the apartment from time to time, would stay at the apartment days, sometimes a week, sometimes more. During a search of the apartment, his clothes were found in a back bedroom where he calmly slept, and he had independent access to the residence because the girlfriend left him a key to the apartment, which meant he could come and go as he pleased, just as if he were the owner of the house. So again, it's a good example. Now, that's not enough, but all that other stuff and stuff in plain view and so forth was good enough to convict him. Now I want to compare it though with a different case. So Customs discovered heroin inside a package and a controlled delivery was conducted. The defendant answered the door and accepted the package. Now he did accept it with a fake name on it. Minutes later, the police entered the apartment and found a roommate had opened the package and the defendant was in a different room. If that's all your facts, is that a good case about the guy who answered the door and took the package? Yes or no? Is that a good case against that guy? Okay. And the answer is going to be no. Now, acceptance of the package, maybe probable cause, maybe, right? But it's not going to be enough, right? Now, okay, hold on. So it's not going to be enough. Let me give you a pro tip, right? Again, the mere presence around contraband without more evidence is not enough to prove constructive possession. And BL, is that one of your pet peeves on this issue? To me, because that's like one of the biggest issues that we find, right? Is that and again, I will tell you that there's a caveat that yeah, Idaho, I think, has a law that would cover this, but I think you still need some mens rea. But a lot of people are getting arrested for being around contraband, and the cop is not proving this, right? Don't forget this part. The legal concept of possession does not include all items of property that are within a person's reach or in a person's presence. Shoppers walking down the aisle of a store do not possess all the merchandise lying before them on the shelves, nor do museum visitors possess all of the artwork that they pass within reach of. So that is one of my favorite quotes because it really helps illuminate this issue, right? Just because you're near it does not mean you possess it, right? So yeah, I think it's a really good quote. What's up, Robert? It's good to have you here. So look at this way. What if you were in a car that contained contraband in the trunk? You're in my car. I have 2 kilos in the trunk, right? You don't know that. You don't know that Anthony is working for the cartels on the side, trying to get my money, and pay for my lifestyle. But we get stopped, and the cops, lawfully find the contraband. I got some bad news and I got some good news, okay? The bad news is you're going to jail that day, okay? There is probably no way you're going to be able to convince a cop that you had nothing to do with the 2 kilos, okay? The bad news is, I'm sorry, the good news is that you're going to beat that rap, okay? That is not enough to prove constructive possession. Yeah, yeah, everybody's going to take the ride, absolutely, okay? But, you know, this is a good example, okay? A driver was intoxicated and there was a holstered handgun on the back seat. The gun alleged, this is a case in Alaska, so don't think about any other state law like California issues or, whatever. New Jersey cops, calm down, calm down. Sometimes people in other states have guns just laying around, just like they were, phones. And and the gun allegedly belonged to a sober passenger, but was within reach of the driver. Okay. The driver was charged with being in possession of a gun while intoxicated. Is that a good case against the driver? Okay, Jason says no, right? And so this is not enough to prove constructive possession. Now, maybe he takes the ride, okay? Usually we're not here about the PC chart. We're here about the PC is pretty easy, quite frankly, in a lot of these cases, right? So again, often the issue with constructive possession is not the arrest, but trying to convict with little evidence about the person's intent to possess. Okay, so somebody asked me about, hey, are all these cases in the Drugs on Wheels book? No, not all of them, but definitely some of them. Okay, the other issue is that John Ween, our illustrious senior legal instructor, he went through that book, and all I got to tell you is the book is a masterpiece. Okay, the Drugs on Wheels it's a very big book. It's an encyclopedia of, but if you are looking to be like a criminal addiction, not just drug addiction. So that's why the Drugs on Wheels, it's a classic name from Gar Jensen, who is an icon in the law enforcement training space and so forth. But Gar passed away. Blue to Gold acquired the rights to the book from his wife, and we updated that book. And John just did a magnificent job. So Amanda has my back on this. You guys go check out. Maybe Teresa, you can put a link to that book. The book is not cheap, but it can't be cheap because it's so big. It's our most expensive book that we have. Yep. Yeah. So Drugs on Wheels, and we definitely talk about constructive possession. Okay, now let's talk about this case. So traffic. So we have that gun in the car business. Okay, that's not enough, right? Thanks, Teresa. Trafficking amount of drugs were found in the trunk during a PC search. The car was rented by the driver. Only one small bag was in the passenger compartment. Both the driver and the passenger denied having a key to the trunk. The passenger was with the driver and the car was rented, and both gave conflicting travel plans. And by the way, there was over 200 pounds of narcotics in the car. Do you think that this is a good case against the passenger? Right? Right? Exactly, Amando, right? Absolutely, right? Absolutely. That passenger is going to prison. I like what Sam said, by the way, joint possession versus this. Um, what happened here is the this guy, the boyfriend, is on parole. Now they do a Fourth Amendment waiver search on his house. They find a gun in the girlfriend's side of the bed in a pink bag. He was charged with possession of a firearm. Later, DNA came back to the girlfriend. There was none of his DNA was on the gun. Let me ask you the first question. Initially, without the DNA, was there enough to take him to jail? I mean, I don't know, right? Um, I mean, I will tell you that probably. And one of the things here um, is that one issue. Hold on. Let me give this Lee. Let me give this to Teresa real quick before I forget. I don't want to forget that. All right, Teresa, if you can make a note of that, please. Thank you, Lee. So one of the issues is that it's probably a reasonable inference that he knows the gun is in the house, right? Um, but man, I mean, he's taking a risk. I mean, it's a reasonable inference that he knows the gun is there. But of course, it's not enough to prove, right? But PC to arrest, yes. Evan, Revoke parole? Yes, right. I mean, look, if he's living with a girl and she has her Second Amendment rights, you say, babe, man, congratulations. I wish I had my Second Amendment rights, but I don't. And if I'm living with you with your gun, especially out in the open like this, I'm going back to prison. So either the gun has to go or I have to go. And you know she's going to say, get the hell out of here, because no good woman worth having is going to give up her gun. Okay. Not the kind of girls I date. So let me give you a little pro tip. So a person's confession will not be enough to prove possession. Okay. You still need corroborating evidence. So even if they tell you, yes, this is my gun. Okay. For example, a gun is found underneath the passenger seat where the girlfriend is sitting. The girlfriend says it's hers. The boyfriend, a felon, the driver, says he has nothing to do with it. Do you have PC for the boyfriend? I mean, not with these facts, probably. Okay, you're gonna need a little bit more facts, okay? But do we just maybe, okay, maybe. I mean, there's not a lot of facts here. But regardless, you don't have, do you have beyond reason doubt even for her? It's just, you're gonna need, you're gonna need something more, right? Where is the intent, right? Who owns the car? What is his previous charge? Does he actually have a previous firearms, conviction? You get my point, right? He also knew about it too. So if you have attended my report writing class, I have this thing called Strive for Five. I am trying to get cops to give 5 or more reasons about why they think the person had the intent to exercise dominion and control over contraband. It's not that hard, okay? But, things like guilty mind evidence, smells in plain view. You get into the car and there's burglary tools right on the floorboard, right? Criminal history, they have a history of that kind of crime. Now that's not enough alone to get a conviction. We know that. Once a criminal, always a criminal. No, okay. However, it is an indicator. The arrest evidence that I love the video from South Carolina with the melon y'all, right? The Mountain Dew, because she's like, it ain't my drugs. And then she's arrested, and what do they find on her person? The exact same drugs. It's an excellent case. They own the container. You're going to see another video where they actually own the container, and then they're like, I don't know how that gun got in there, right? Deception. Let's watch a video.
I started Richmond County Sheriff's Department 5 years ago. My style of policing, I like to be fair with people. I like to treat others like I would want to be treated. We're all human, but some of us, we just make some mistakes, and we got to understand that and give them the benefit of the doubt. Try to listen to them and just be fair with them. Car just passed by me with the driver and the passengers without their seatbelt on, and also failed to maintain lane. We'll go ahead and pull them over and talk to them, find out what's going on.
I believe it's Lincoln David. But LDR is going to do the first 3 on that. 2313.
Hey, how y'all doing? I'm all right. Hey, I'm Deputy Gibbs, Richmond County Sheriff's Department. The reason why I stopped is because you didn't have on your seatbelt also. I can't hear you. I still can't hear you, ma'am. No. Okay, let me see your ID, please. And also for failure to maintain lane, okay? If you don't mind, just stepping out and talk to me real quick, please. How are you tonight? I'm doing pretty good. Hey, where are y'all coming back from? Excuse me?
A side job.
A side job? Where at?
Downtown off the Battle Road.
Okay. What are y'all doing down there?
Painting.
Painting?
It's for a friend of his, so I mean, it's...
11 o'clock at night?
Actually, we've been over there since probably 5 o'clock, 7 noon. I mean, you can call the boy if you want to. I mean, I can give you his phone number and you can call him.
Nah, I don't need to talk to him.
I mean, I have no reason to lie to you, sir. I mean,
Let me ask you a question, all right?
Yes, sir.
Is there anything illegal inside this vehicle?
No, sir, it's not.
Nothing at all?
No, sir.
What about on the gentleman that's in the car? Nothing? And just step out and talk to me real quick. All right, come here. Hey, it's your wife right here?
Yes, sir.
And where y'all coming back from?
We just went to a buddy of mine's house over there on Watkins or Walker.
All right, then.
Where you from?
From Augusta. I'm born and raised here.
You don't have a Georgia ID? You never had one? Never had one?
I mean, yeah, but I just don't have it on me. Like I said, we just went and done my buddy's side job.
Computer.
Huh?
The reason why you're not coming back in the system?
No, sir.
Come on back here with me, okay?
Can I grab my shirt?
Huh?
Can I grab my shirt?
No,
Why do you got it on?
Hi, I was working.
he's fine. Come here, friend. Let me talk to you real quick. Yes, you. You mind if I pat you down?
No, I don't.
Hey, blame you.
Huh?
Blame you.
Where at?
I'll show you in a second. Who's driving? The female?
My partner, he ended up finding what appeared to be some meth in the driver's side.
1315 dispatch.
Found some marijuana. Huh?
What'd you pull him over for?
I pulled him over for failure to maintain lane and also seatbelt violation.
Here you got another bag of meth over here on the seat.
That's probably why he was all fidgety.
Just look under that side against the center console. Another small bag of meth.
Yep. In plain view. Got some meth under the passenger side. Not to charge them with possession of the meth. We found this plastic baggie under where she was sitting, and this is how we got the PC to get inside the vehicle.
Get it down in there?
I believe so.
I turned dark blue. Really dark purple. Positive for meth.
Both of them tested positive for meth.
Both of them.
Okay, I found a little baggie of meth under your seat, okay?
Under my seat.
Yes. In between the center console and the seat by where you were sitting.
That has nothing to do with me, buddy.
It has nothing to do with you?
No, sir.
Do you know what you're going to jail for tonight?
Probation violation, isn't it?
Okay, yes, you have some warrants on you.
That's
So
what
you'll
I'm
be
glad
going-
to get that taken care of. 'Cause
Yes,
you
sir, you
can't
need to
do
get that
nothing.
taken care of. So you'll be going to jail for the warrants and also for the possession of the methamphetamine, okay?
So how you gonna charge? You charging me with possession?
Yes, sir.
You charging both of us?
Because it was in your possession.
It was not in my possession. You didn't get that off of me.
All right. It was right there
I don't
by
care
your feet.
where it was right
okay?
there. No, that's bullcrap. Wasn't
All
nothing
right.
in my
Well,
possession.
then you can just.
But you just talked to my lawyer about it. It's all good.
All right. Well, you just got to go to court and let the judge figure that out. All right. All right.
All right. So what I love about this video is because it's actually it's like a great video about what we're talking about here. Because the suspect is saying you're charging me with possession? You didn't find that off of me. And the cop is like, no, I did find it on you. It was in your possession. The suspect is referring to what type of possession? Actual. The cop is referring to what type of possession? Constructive. So I love it, right? So they're just talking about two different types of possession. Now, at the end of the day, is this a solid constructive possession case? Yes or no? Mm-hmm. Yep. I actually think it's very, very solid. I believe that this is beyond a reasonable doubt. And here's why. First of all, does he look like and have the appearance of an active drug user? Absolutely. He has massive weight loss. His clothes don't fit. He's absolutely abnormally skinny for his age. There's a ladder in the car, which is compartmentalization. So if he wants to blame it on somebody else, it's going to be hard to do. He's lying about his ID. He actually was on ID. He's on probation. Guess probably for what? He's probably on probation for drugs. And by the way, did he actually ever say, did he ever look shocked that there was drugs in the car? Did he ever say, whoa, drugs? What are we talking about drugs? There's no drug. If you found drugs in my car, dude, you would be planting that shit. There's no way there's drugs in my car. Maybe a rental car that somebody left in there, but not my POV, my personal, owned vehicle. But he was like, his whole attitude was like, you didn't find it off of me. It's right under his seat in his proximity. Look at the weight of his ID. I'm sure that his weight on his ID is probably heavier than what he is now. He's losing a lot of weight. The wife had the same The wife had the same drugs. What is that saying? Birds of a feather like smoke crack together. How many times have you actually found one person that's addicted to heroin, fentanyl, methamphetamine, and the other partner is a churchgoer, right? No shoe, no shirt, overheating, sweating, fidgety, probably because he's hiding the stuff. There's no tint in the car, means you can see right in. Lack of hygiene, again, that's consistent with the active drug use. So, guys, there it is. This is absolutely, in my view, beyond a reasonable doubt evidence that he possessed that evidence, that contraband under his seat. Okay. Now there is something called joint possession. I just want to kind of somebody mentioned this in the chat, by the way, and I thought that was very smart. Is that don't forget that you also can have two or more people. Um, thank you, Matt. Two or more people can possess the same thing, right? Joint possession arises when two or more individuals share actual or constructive possession of an item. This requires that the individuals knowingly share control over the item. Importantly, constructive possession does not need to be exclusive to one person. It can be jointly exercised by multiple individuals. So examples of you know, joint possession, right? Two people sharing drugs in a backpack, or both occupants of a car controlling a gun in a glove box, roommates keeping narcotics in the shared kitchen, a couple jointly using a safe that contains cash from drug sales, friends passing around and smoking from the same marijuana pipe. So they're all going to be construct possessing the item at the same time. At the same time. So let's talk about US versus kitchen. What happened here? And do you guys see the patches on the cop, by the way? Do you see how legit this is? Do you guys actually look at the hold on. I mean, we don't mess around at Blue to Gold, man. I mean, oh, it's red. Oh, hold on. The color, there it is. Boom. Look at that. I mean, that is legit. That is legit. We are getting our we have the best graphic artist guys in the business here. But I digress. I'm proud. I'm proud of our team. Our team sometimes watches these podcasts. Um, and so team Blue to Gold team, you guys do a great job, and especially Teresa. Okay, the defendant was convicted of cocaine distribution and felon in possession of firearms. The guns were found in a bedroom he shared with his girlfriend, containing both their belongings and documents with his name. Though the defendant claimed he mainly lived with his mother, agents repeatedly reached him through the girlfriend's phone, observed him at the house, and found evidence he invested in home repairs. So maybe, Amanda, I wish actually I could take a day off and actually have my brother fill in for me, but I don't want to lose the business, with his gibberish. The fact that other adults, including, Williams, the girlfriend, had access to the residence did not negate Kitchen's constructive possession. So, as they said, constructive possession may be either sole or joint, right? Fact that firearm may have been jointly possessed affected neither culpability nor minimized the role in the offense. The fact that Williams too had access to firearms fails to negate the inference that Kitchen did as well. The law recognizes the possibility of joint possession. So really, depending on the circumstances, two or more people can be, arrested. All right, so let's talk about People versus Wilkie. Defendant was convicted of possessing LSD with the intent to distribute after admitting that he bought it as an investment. Okay, that's to each his own. Though he shared an apartment with others, he signed the lease, paid rent and utilities, and the drugs were found in a refrigerator during a lawful search. Again, sufficient dominion and control over the premises to prove constructive possession. And again, sole and exclusive possession is not required, but that joint possession in a place at least partially under the dominion control of the accused is sufficient. All right, let's talk about U.S. versus Jenkins. So, a little weird picture here, video. It's hard to get these perfect, but here's what happened. Police respond to a call for service. Okay, something like these guys are acting suspicious. Now, a guy named Eric Carey, he comes out of the car. Okay, he's walking out of the car. He looks over. He sees the cops. and he runs back into the car. They try to leave. The cops stop him. When they get all the people out of the car, they find a sawed-off shotgun next to a guy named Carey. Okay, I'm sorry, Jenkins. So William Jenkins. So here's the deal. So Jenkins is getting charged, but also they also charged Carey, okay, with the firearm. They actually charged. There's actually 4 guys in total. They charged everybody. Okay. Do you see the problem here? Right? Do you see the problem um, that the gun is under a jacket right next to this guy named Jenkins? His initials, WJ, is actually on the gun, but they're charging everybody with those facts. Um, so the court found that this was enough to convict Jenkins, right? Obviously, his initials are on it, but not Carey. So we conclude that a reasonable juror could not have fairly inferred constructive possession on the gun because the record lacks evidence of any additional circumstances to connect Carey to it. Certainly, his act of fleeing back into the car, that's suspicious. But what else, right? What else? You have to prove this, right? You have to prove this.
Give me some space. I just put a picture in the chat as well. Chill, I'm not resisting. Let me get on my back. 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 No. Let me get on my back, bro. Let me get on my back. I got it. 5576, where's that one? Well, he's in custody. It's not him. Damn, bro, y'all done wrestling me down. Damn, what? Y'all see? No, I know a girl called me. A girl called me. Sure, yeah. How the fuck put up on me and a girl just called me? What the hell? A girl called me and said, stay right here. Yeah. I can call the phone. No. What the hell? Who that bag from? You threw it down. You threw it down.
Well, that's weird. 'Cause that's you, right? Oh, look, Cameron Deal. We're looking for you.
I just ain't got a job here.
Okay. Well, you're going to be late. You're under arrest.
And we end off on a video that is exactly, just solid evidence of maybe even actual possession. If they saw him with the bag, there'll be actual possession, but still constructive possession. No matter what, we have possession, right? Guys, did you find this information useful? I hope I met your expectations. And BL, my good friends, hope I know you were excited about this topic. I hope that you thought this was also worthwhile. We are going to. I'm going to ask you a few favors real quick before we end off. My friends that are on demand, again, there's a few hundred people here watching live. Now, actually, those won't work. Actually, I'm actually looking for an instructor review. So you can't do the course review because that's the wrong one. But if you guys want to give me an instructor review, I would appreciate it. Use the top QR code. If you don't mind, just maybe taking your phone real quick. You actually make sure it works. I'm sure it does. The top one. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, man, that'd be awesome. If you can just write a review real quick, it actually does help me out and also keeps Teresa off my back. I want to make sure she's happy. She's in charge of all my social media and so forth. All right, so guys, that's what I have. Please do that. But the other thing I'm going to ask you is anybody here interested in bringing Blue to Gold out in 2026? We're now looking at our calendar for 2026. We're penciling people in. If you have also, do me a favor. If you have a conference, okay, if you have a conference that you want us to speak at, please let us know. We're doing, a lot of conferences. Again, I'm at a conference right now. So if you have a conference, a gang conference, narcotics conference, chiefs, police chiefs conference, we love doing those conferences. We have a lot of material for conferences. So if you're interested in that, or you're interested in bringing us out for in hosting us, just email training@bluetogold.com, okay? Either a conference or you want to host us, please, training@bluetogold.com. All right? All right. And with that information, guys, I'm going to now do the search and seizure show. If you guys have any questions, I'm going to answer them live. I have a few minutes for that. I appreciate you guys so much. For those who are watching on demand, thank you so much. Share this video with your friends. Attend live if you can one day. But no matter what, even if you can't attend live, you're going to get a copy of the video. All right? All right.